There's so many facets of this. So many crimes. Grabbing big private banks that were solvent, stealing them, giving themselves hundreds of billions of dollars in goodies, lying about it, saying we won't tell you where the money is. I mean, if they get away with this and the naked body scanners and all these other acts of submission, what comes next? Will they demand our firstborn be sacrificed to them like other governments have done in history? I mean, where does it end? Let's talk to Dave in California. You're on the air with Webster Griffin Tarpley. By the way, we carry all three of his books at Infowars.com, including Cataclysm. You really want to understand what's happening with the banking scam, that's the book. Dave, you're on the air with Webster Tarpley. Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for taking the call. I've got three quick things to mention. One is a statement. One's a question. The other one's a suggestion.
I'm going to have to let you go in just a sec, though. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. First off, I love Webster Tarpley, and I saw him recently in a European movie called Zero, an investigation into 9/11. And I've heard very little about this movie Zero, and I was wondering if you guys could possibly help promote it or post it on InfoWars.
Sure, really great. Cool. I appreciate your call. Take care, Dave. I told you we're taking calls for Webster Tarpley. I mean, come on. Let's go ahead and take another call here. Let's talk to John in Florida. John, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. Mr. Tarpley, my question has to do with auditing the Fed. It seems obvious that the only way to break the credibility of the current administration and all these people that are controlling the world is to successfully get a passage of the H.R. 1207 to uncover all these intricate relationships. Would you agree? And if so, what's it going to take?
Well, I would agree, but that's only the first step. I mean, right now, what we've got on the table could take us one step beyond an audit. That is a special prosecutor that would go after Bernanke. And let me mention another guy, Donald Cohn, K-O-H-N. In hearings just about a year ago, January 13th, 2009, Congressman Grayson, you know him, he's a loudmouth Democrat from Florida, I think, but doing a good thing here. Grayson demanded to know from Donald Cohn of the Fed, what are the names of the people who got that AIG money and how much did they get? Will you reveal it? And Cohn said no. So let's put Cohn on the list. If you could get a special prosecutor going around inside the Fed, that would allow you to do it maybe from another angle. I'm all for auditing the Fed, but here's the thing. The Fed has got to be seized. In other words, take it out of the control of that.
Yeah, it's unconstitutional.
We have under the Congress and the president.
Yes, we have to put it under the Congress. That's in the Constitution. And it's simple. Expose the bankers as the criminals. Expose their fraud politically. Instead of it being Obama or Palin and this left-right diversion where we then get Palin or Mitt Romney or Petraeus for 4 years and then people get mad and throw them out. And we got to think about false flag, too, Webster. You've been saying all last year, and look at it now. Clearly, the underwear bomber is the kickoff for new false flag. They want new wars.
Well, we also had this very interesting thing. Last Monday, Richard Wolff went on the Olbermann show and said that the Obama White House was convinced that the Christmas patsy from Nigeria, that was an intentional action for various reasons. So it means that really the rogue network and their false flag operations are very, very close to the surface right now. Obama, of course, punted. Obama turned away, didn't do anything. Obama needs to start firing some people, and maybe he could fire some moles.
Yeah,
so
but John,
another thing to demand.
John, your point about auditing the Fed being key. You audit it. The Treasury needs to be audited. All this needs to be public. You've got private banks. You've got private banks openly robbing everyone. When is it going to end? Final call straight ahead for Webster Tarpley. Then Wayne Madsen with breaking news. Wayne Madsen coming up with breaking news on multiple fronts. Going to phone calls right now. Joe in Ohio, you're on the air. Welcome.
Well, and thank you both for having me. Inspired me to take some action today. I just want to tell you what I did to take action concerning this Geithner situation, tell you about the roadblocks I hit, and then maybe each of you could maybe help me perfect my technique when I make these kind of calls.
Go ahead.
I called 2 network affiliates here in Columbus this morning to ask why there was zero coverage on the Geithner story, either on the air or on their websites. Neither phone operator even knew who Geithner was. I had to explain to each news desk operator who Timothy Geithner was. So they gave me the cursor. You sure? We'll take care of it. Thanks for your call. I emailed the CBS affiliate. They sent back a form email saying they had already covered it once. I called Senators Brown and Voinovich, spoke with both of their interns, asked if either had released a statement on Geithner. Neither had, so I suggested that maybe they would publicly want to distance themselves from such scum and call for an indictment.
Well, what you're doing is beautiful. Call in to talk radio. Send articles that we write at prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com that boils this down. Send this to local affiliates. Send it to radio talk show host. We can use the controlled right-wingers thinking they're going after Obama to go after the whole banking system and destroy themselves. Tarpley?
I would say, in particular, that Sherrod Brown, right? Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio makes a big thing about being an economic populist and a pro-union guy for the working man and the blue-collar America. Keep the heat on Sherrod Brown, because this is where you can really squeeze him. How come he's covering up for Geithner and the New York Fed and these financial parasites?
Yeah, but I think what Joe's doing is excellent. Keep it up, Joe.
Keep it up. But don't give up on Sherrod Brown. Voinovich is harder to get because he's on his way out.
All right, thank you, Joe. Got to jump. Sector, I believe, in India. Thanks for holding her on the air.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jones, Mr. Tarpley, great to talk to you. Got a few suggestions. I think Mr. Tarpley is right. I think we should all contact Mr. Grayson and have him pursue this further. And maybe is there any chance we can get these 18 attorney generals that were interested in the health care sham to maybe go after this also? And then also, maybe if you could get Vincent Bugliosi on, maybe he would have some suggestions to take these criminals down. And I started out with a Providian credit card. It went to Washington Mutual, and now it's at Chase, and they're charging me 29.9% interest, and I'm trying to get out of it as soon as I can. We need to arrest these criminals and take them down, and I thank you and appreciate all that y'all do.
Good job.
That's the zombie banks. Also, notice this is why Elliot Spitzer had to be taken down with that sex operative, because this is one guy, and there are some other state attorneys general who have the same profile, that they're going to be populists and go after the Wall Street characters, and that's a place we can also begin to put on some pressure.
Yeah, they clearly have intimidated and destroyed people to send a message to everybody to not stand up. But as the pain gets more and more intense, as the abuse and crime becomes more and more transparent, they're not going to be able to shut everybody up. The positive sign is most of these bankers are buying homes in non-extradition countries around the world, and clearly have been moving the last 2 years into a fully offshore profile with the belief that they may lose total control. In fact, here's Bloomberg arming Goldman Sachs with pistols, and it says they're preparing to defend themselves from riots and from mobs and preparing to basically evacuate the country. So that shows they're scared. They realize they're criminals, and they're now getting the getaway car all warmed up and provisioned.
Well, there was already a march on Goldman Sachs a couple of months ago by a bakery, the Stella d'Oro bakery workers, who were getting fired because they'd been asset stripped and looted by Goldman Sachs. And again, I recommend, we've had enough marches on Washington for a while. Let's have a march on Wall Street, specifically Goldman Sachs.
I agree. We'll get We Are Change and Luke Rudowski. He's in that sector. We need everybody to set that up and go down there and let them know that we know they're the problem, and see if the police even allow free speech, because they love the bankers so much they're destroying their entire future. Webster, we're going to keep pushing for criminal indictments and a special prosecutor. All your great books are available at Infowars.com. God bless you. Thanks for spending time with us, Webster.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, my friend. All right, I got another guest coming up, Wayne Madsen.